guys, welcome to my Flosstube. This is the first one of 2022. I know I should have done one last week. I know I should have done my whip parade. I have not recorded my whip parade yet. It's actually snowing outside. It's distracting. I'm sorry, the light in here is absolutely shocking. All I can say is that my stitching shows up because I've got a very bright light, but it's not illuminating any of me. I'm also wearing a sweater that is exactly the same shade as my sofa, which, if anybody knows me, is 3808. I am in 3808 today. It's cold, it's snowing, and it is January the 6th, so I'm long overdue, but I needed a little power down after Flossmas after all, and I'm still pulling projects. So today's the day to get your guesses in. I will go back to the last video I did where I asked to give me guesses on how many whips I have. I am going to film a whip parade, I just haven't got round to it just yet. So get me guesses in for how many whips I currently have as of my whip parade. I'm not intending to start anything else before I film my whip parade, but I have had 2 new starts this year already, so yeah. So get your guesses in the comments, and when I do the edit of my whip parade, because it's going to be really long, I will do a little piece to camera right at the end and give away the last little Emma Congdon sweater ornament, finished into a little ornament for next Christmas. I'm off work today, and today is a day of packaging up giveaways. I'm going to try and get, because there's nearly 30 of them, I'm going to try and get them in 10s, out in 10s. So I'm going to try and get as many of them as I can done. Only if I go to the post office with 30 packets that are going basically all over the place, they get a bit, not huffy, but you know what I mean, it makes a very large queue, and right now we don't want people queuing up inside everywhere. So I'm going to do it in little shifts, but I'm going to try and get as many as I can packaged up today, ready to get into the post. So I am on it, guys, and if you want something from me, please be patient, because I'm not very good. I have great intentions, but you know, it doesn't often come off as neatly as I'd like. But we'll get there in the end. Right, so since the turn of the year, well, since I finished my Flossmas, I have only stitched on 3 pieces, and I had a new start yesterday. So I think I'm just going to, I don't think this is going to be terribly long. One, because I don't think my phone can take it. I'm still on my phone. I brought the camera and everything down, and I can't get it on charge at the moment. Robin's going to have to do a bit of cable jiggling. So until I can get the big camera on charge, I can't film anyway, because obviously my little phone is unable to process anything longer than about 20 minutes. So I'm going to try and do this quite quickly, but I thought Flosstube is better than no Flosstube. So here we go. Okay, so the piece I've put, I think, an awful lot of stitches in is my Snow Wizard. It's a Haid, it's a Randall Spangler. It's not counted as a mini, but it is not a big Haid. It is narrow and very long. It's 420 long by, I think, 125 wide. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20, 125 wide. And I'm having to roll it back to show you what I've done. So last time I still had gaps in my dragon. My dragon is now up here. I have stitched down to there. So I have put in a lot of work. I believe I'm on 67% now. It might even be 68. I'd really like to get this finished so much sooner rather than later. So here's where I am. I don't even think there's a picture of where it was before, but the top of my castle was just beginning to peek out, and now I have quite a big, you can clearly see the castle. There's some greens in there, there's purples, there's greys. I've actually used some different colours other than blue. Not that I don't absolutely love the blue, and I have colour completed several of the blues, which is really nice to have done. I've actually colour completed some of the blues. So at the moment I'm filling in, I've filled in a huge great swathe of this purple here. 155? It's not 155. It's one of those. It's one of the very, anyway, it's this colour here. I've done a lot of 3808, a lot of 3809, and that's where we are with it. And I'm still so in love with this project. This looks this size, if people haven't seen it over and over and know the spiel I'm about to give. It looks this size because it is on 14 count Ada. I was gifted a very long, very skinny piece of Ada, and it is snowing heavily outside. Welcome to January. It's distracting me. But I had this very long, very skinny piece, and this piece just spoke to me. Now I have the Snow Castle, but I am not going to start the Snow Castle until I finish the Snow Wizard, because it's all the same colours, and I know if I start another one I'm not going to get this done, and I want this done because I just love it, and this is the closest I'm going to get to a reasonably sized Haid finish. This year, next year, the year after, hopefully the year after I'll finish the key. I put stitches into the key. I did. I might have shown you them. Anyway, I'll show you that in my whip parade. At the moment I'm showing you my Snow Wizard, so I have put in an awful lot of work into this. Probably that much. It was a lot. So there we go. So I still adore this project, and I am keeping on trucking, and we've gone back dark now. Sorry about that. I might, when I edit it, I might try and fuss with the brightness, but I don't want to wash myself out so that I look blooming half dead, which I'm not. Everybody's got COVID. No, none of us have got COVID, but it's like everybody knows somebody, an immediate family member or something that has COVID at the moment. So I've got a bit of a sore throat, and I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't taken a test, but I am feeling perfectly fine. I do get one cold a year. I don't feel like I've got COVID symptoms. I feel like I have a cold, but I probably will do a test. I'm not in work until Saturday. I probably will test, but yeah, everybody has COVID. Who knew? So there we go. And we had the new year. Took Robin over for his spinal injection. I stitched on the key, so I have definitely done stitching on the. I made it just. Oh, let me backtrack. I might run upstairs and get the key. I assume this is going to run out of space and I'll have to do some jiggling. If it does that, I'll run upstairs and get the key. Only Robin's still asleep. He has now been asleep for nearly 12 hours. He went and he got this nerve block in his spine. It's at the exact spot where they're sure there's like a growth of bone, which is pushing on the nerve, which is giving him the nerve pain down his leg. It's taken them 13 years to work this out. Anyway, it's worked. And he's not in nerve pain, which means he's not taking morphine, and he's taking a lot less tramadol than he normally takes every day. So it's really snowing. We don't get snow. I'm in the UK. I'm in the north of the UK, but we don't get a lot of snow. So to see it like blowing past white, I know some places in the US at the moment are getting dumped on, majorly dumped on with snow. We don't really get it. So for me, it's like, ugh, snow. Yeah, so he's not in that pain, but he's still sleeping an awful lot. So yeah, I'm just going to try and get through this without interruptions. And so we did that on New Year's Eve, and I took the key and 3 or 4 different colours with me to try and get I was aiming to finish the 21 in 21, and I did it with about an hour to spare. I was sitting on my Stitchy Zoom and just trying to get the stitches in to get it done. And I did get my 21 in 21. I have not posted a picture to the group, but I know for me that I made it, and I will try and do 22 in 22 on the key as well. I want to do 3 times that much because I want to get it done within the 4 years, and in March it will be 2 years old. And I should be at 50% if I want to do it in 4 years, and I'm not even close. I'm at like 31 or something. If I can remember when I'm editing it, I'll put where I am on the key here, and possibly insert a photograph that I may or may not take, unless I run upstairs and get it and show it you. Just depends whether my camera can cope with the size of this recording or not. So New Year's Day rolls round and I thought, right, no, I'm just going to keep on trucking. I'm going to keep on stitching on my Snow Wizard, this, that and the other. And then I kind of got a bit, I thought I need a new start. I actually want a new start. I want something seasonal, not Christmas, but winter. So I pulled up my, finally, actually, what happened? Oh, there, I can show you those. They're stuck to the magnets. I can show you the scissors my mum got me for Christmas because I've just stabbed myself in the leg with them. What actually happened was I was trying to tidy up a little bit because we'd had the big truck over to hospital and we'd had that. There's always a good dollop of health anxiety that goes with a big procedure. Anyone who has hospital procedures understands and recognises that everybody, and we were, I'll be perfectly honest, we were bickering in the car. We bickered in the car all the way over, and I just woke up wrong on New Year's Day. I felt all twitchy and weird. Maddie was out for the night and I had a bit of a funny day. And then when I got home from picking Maddie up, I went very early to pick Maddie up and of course completely forgot it was New Year's Day and that the shops wouldn't be open. So I just basically went for a bit of a drive around and had a bit of a snooze. You know, I'm very good at parking my car and snoozing. I even had stitching with me and I couldn't settle to it, so I locked my doors and I had a little snooze. So I've got a knot in my thread. I'm just trying to sort out a loose thread there. So I was tidying up, and as I was tidying up and trying to clear a space, I found a piece of fabric that I'd kind of not forgotten I owned, but I'd forgotten I owned. I'm doing Dilemma, Long Dog Sampler's Dilemma, and the piece of fabric I'm using for that I actually cut to fit, which may or may not be a good plan because I then immediately decided to, instead of making it a 9 block, to make it a 16 block. So instead of a 3x3 frame, I'm making it a 4x4 frame. Now it will fit, I'm sure, but I have this spare piece and it's a 36 count printed Zweigart called Granite. And it is basically a greeny grey tone with a print, and you can see on the back it's white, and it's a Lakeside Needlecraft, so the little online place in the UK. Did I just flash it? Probably. It's from them and it's big enough to fit all 4, because I want to do them on the same fabric, of the Four Seasons girls from Barbara Anna, which is the kit I got from Nick Moscow, which came with the 4, and then you got the 4 freebies, and I did the Winter Dog in Flossmas. That's the freebie that you get when you buy the kit. There's code under my finger. If you have that, you can log in and use that code to get the 4 freebies, which I have, and I've stitched 2 of them and I've still got 2 to go. So I thought, right, okay, long story short, I started the Winter Girl. Now because this is 36 count, I'm doing it over 2, but normally on a 36 count I use 1 strand, and I'm using 2 strands because I like the way it's popping out. So here we are. Here is the Winter Girl. I hope she's not washing out too much in that silly light. But I've done her bodice, her shoulders, her arms, her head and her hair. I haven't done any of her features yet, and I'm just to here on her dress. And then I've started the white. She's got a, they're all holding like a garland. So I've just started the white garland, and I'm hoping, really truly hoping, I'm stitching it in this hoop, but I'm hoping that it's not central. I'm hoping that when it's done, I can frame it in these little hoops and have 4 of them in these little hoops. These are the ones that have the rubbery. It looks like wood, but it's very flexible rubbery, and it's actually holding my fabric bar tight. Very like it, but it's too small. And there's my light gone out. That's stupendous. Right. Okay. Let's see if I can reach a cable. I have a cable. I'm going to try and do this in the oneer and get the Tower of Power. There is my Tower of Power. Let's get this cable plugged into the Tower of Power, and there we go, and see if I can plug my little light in without everything falling over. too much. Where's the light going to plug? Ugh, sorry about that, guys. Going on a little wander. I need to plug it in just there. There. That's going to pull. So you're slightly different angle now, but that's the length of the cable I have. I'm just going to sort out where we are. We're going to carry on. So I started my Four Seasons girls, and that's where I am, and I really like it. And I've got the colours come on a little pretty Nick Moscow piece of card. It's quite nice cardstock actually, and your colours are all threaded up, so they're that long. So I just pull out one. So I'm leaving it all plaited, and I get, ooh, that's a piece of the mauve from Snow Wizard. So what I do is I just get where it's folded here in the knot. I just pull out one strand, and you pull it, and your plait scrumples up, and then your plait flattens out, and you don't have to disturb your plait. And then that gives me a loop start. So you thread your two ends. I lick. You thread your two ends, and then you're good to go for a loop start, which is great. And that's about enough on this little. It gets a bit curly because it's been plaited. That's about enough on this little hoop for me as a length of thread. That's her skirt colour I've just pulled out there and threaded up, so that's fine. So I'm really enjoying that. Yes, she's holding a garland, and a couple of little bits and flowers, and she's got little. I tell you what, I do have a nice picture of this. I'm going to pop that there to show you my winter girl, and I'd really like to get her done, and then in spring I'll do the spring one, and then in summer I'll do the summer one, and then in autumn I'll do the autumn one, or I'll just love them and do them all four super quick. We'll see. So that's two pieces. Now yesterday I was flicking through Instagram, and I like we all do, I'm absolutely sure, Jessie does stuff, she's called, I think, on Instagram, and she had a new start, and I'd never seen the pattern before, and I went, I have to start that. I'm going to stitch that right now. Well, not right now, I was at work. I did a little bit of Googling, I did a bit of finding, found the pattern. It is from a lady called Sharon Christine Designs, and the pattern's called Falling Snow. And I have seen a couple of her patterns before, I just didn't know they were hers. There's a gorgeous mermaid, like a rainbow mermaid, that I absolutely love. I've seen the pattern before and I really love it. Now her patterns are all PDFs. I splashed for it. Cost me, it was $18, cost me £13, which for a big pattern, I am totally happy. I've got everything I need to do it, or to get started I'll need a few more DMCs. It went straight into Pattern Keeper, just not even had to fuss. I didn't have to put the thread colours in. It went in perfectly. Now the only things that ever go in perfectly are Hades, so not even the long dogs go in properly. Sometimes it misses a line here and adds a line there. Anyway, this has gone in, it went in beautifully. So thank you for sending Pattern Keeper compatible, Shannon. But here is my little start here, and that's as much as I've done. And this is Blanc DMC, which I have bits of all over the place. Here is the remains of a skein. It's already cut to lengths because it was in a knot. I cut them all to length. So here is my start, and I'm going to insert a picture just here of how beautiful this piece is. It's thin, and it's 3808. Now I had one more piece of my birthday fabric left. This is called Shoreline. It's by Be Stitch Me, and it's a 28 count linen. So I'm doing it over 2. I almost did it over 1. I did about 30 stitches over 1, and I just thought, no, I don't need to do it tiny. I don't know why I'm trying to save the fabric. Let's use the piece of beautiful fabric and have a beautiful large piece. It is a big piece. It's 270 by 215 or something. Anyway, I love it. So this piece is called Shoreline, and as you can see at the top, it's very, very turquoise, which is what I want for the behind this pattern. But as you go down, it turns into a sandy beach. So this isn't going to be, it's going to come to about here, I think. Anyway, I did start very tight at the top just because I wanted to use as much of this turquoise. I had, I think, 4 inches at the top, but I've started it with a 2-inch with the selvage. And as you can see, to make my life easier, I am gridding it with the Gutermann very fine filament in this gorgeous turquoise, because I had one right where I knew where it was. So I've done a little bit of gridding, but stitching gridding, because I don't want to wash it just in case it doesn't wash well. There we go, there's my start. That's a not bad representation there. Isn't it glorious? And I was just so thrilled to find something that I just like brand new. I loved it. So thank you, Jessie, for pointing out a pattern I was completely unaware of, and a designer that I now really like and will probably buy more patterns from. And I will be stitching this. It's mostly monochrome. Oh, I think there's 3 colours and three colours of beads in it. So, but it's 3808 and 3810, I think, which are both absolutely, it's basically this colour and that colour. So, you know, it's always going to work beautifully. I'm already doing opening gambit in 3808, so I've got loads of 3808 knocking around. It's my one of my absolute favourite DMC colours. So, yeah, I was over the moon to find that, and equally over the moon to find a piece of fabric that I had in stash. It was a very thoughtful gift, and I am using, well, I have one piece, and it's a big piece, and I'm going to left over from my birthday fabric. It's the best piece. I've saved it till last, and it's huge. I think it's a half. I think it's a half, it is. And I'm going to make up a sampler for me to go on that, but not anytime soon, but it's going to take some planning. Anyway, guys, that's my 3 pieces I've stitched on and worked on. I did stitch on the key. Doesn't look like we're going to time out in time, so I will insert a picture of where I got to on the key. I did actually put in a lot of stitches, so I think probably over 2,000 stitches went into it. So it has had some really good progress right down by his tail. The shaft of the key had quite a few browns. I took browns, I took purples, so his little tail has got a lot more work in it, and the key he's curling round has got a lot more definition in it now. So I will insert a picture of that for you, so that you can actually see what I've done, because I'd forgotten that I worked on that, because it's already been a few days. I've been at work every day. I'm off today, I'm off tomorrow, but I will be in and out tomorrow. My Mazda its front tyres are bald. Like if I get stopped by the police, I'll be fined. I won't be fined though, because it is booked in tomorrow to have 2 new tyres fitted. So I'll take stitching with me. If I sit and wait, I sit and wait. It might be 10 minutes, it might be 2 hours. I just don't know. I'm happy to sit and wait. I've got to drop Maddie in work, go and wait with my car, and then pick Maddie up from work. I've got a 5-hour window. It'll be fine. And I'll take stitching with me, and everything will be really fine then, won't it? Because we've got stitching. Other than that, yep, I've been in the kitchen 2 days this week. Tuesday, Wednesday I was in the kitchen. Our second chef has gone to America to see his children, so he's going to be away for 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks I am going to be on duty when the other chef is having his days off. So I survived. I think that's the thing to say, is I survived it. It's fun, I enjoy it, but I wouldn't want to do it all day every day. Let's put it like that. I do like serving coffee and carrying the bacon rolls, and I had people having full meals. You know, we've put a limited menu on, because there's a few things that I'm not confident making just yet, and the timings, trying to put up 4 different main courses that all cook completely differently up at the same time is something I've not had a lot of practice in. I'm used to making one dinner and everybody gets the same dinner. That's my my sore throat. I have no coffee because nobody's up to make me coffee. There's cereal. There's a bit of the boys' cereal stuck to that. That's gross. I have a little tiny tickle. I don't even think it's a cough. It's more like a little tiny tickle. Anyway. Oh, it's making my eye water. So scared of everything. Everybody's scared of coughing now. You're really scared. We were masked up at work and I'm scared of coughing just in case. Anyway. Right guys, I'm going to jump off now so that my phone can cope with this. Thank you so much for coming back to me, even though I've been a couple of weeks actually being a bit rubbish. I couldn't film earlier in the week. I had a bit of a to-do with Etsy, and basically I'm going to use the word heartbroken, but I'm all right now. I've taken it on the chin. I have accepted the outcome, and be careful with Etsy if you're a seller. Just be careful. Yeah. I'd like to do a huge rant service announcement to sellers on Etsy. I want to get off Etsy as soon as possible, but there doesn't seem to be, without us going bananas and building our own website, I really can't see a way of getting off Etsy at the moment. But if you're a seller and you sell something other than instant PDF downloads, be careful with Etsy. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because it's still making me sad. Right guys, I'm going to go and do some household jobs and get on with my day. I will see you for a whip parade, I hope very soon. So get your guesses in, and if you guessed in the last video, I will go back and check names, because it's obviously something I can't randomly select for it. So I'm going to manually look through until I find the right number. So if you've already guessed, that's fine. But if you want to guess, and it'll be the number of whips I hold up in my whip parade. Okay, and as I edit my whip parade, we're going to have a counter up in this top corner here. It'll probably be in that corner now, as I've just said that. But we're going to have somewhere in one of the two top corners, we're going to have a counter that every time I show a whip, it'll go from 5 to 6 to 7, and then we'll know at the end when I finish editing. And then when I've edited that bit, I'll do a little bit to camera and say, there we go, and we'll do that just as a bit of fun for counting up what I've got. And it'll be what it is. And I honestly don't know how many whips I've got. All I know is that the things I found the other day filled a box, one of the empty Amazon Christmas boxes. I have filled an Amazon Christmas box. I haven't even opened my whip storage area up. So there's quite a few. Anyway guys, I will see you very soon for the whip parade, and around about this time next week for Flosstube. I may or may not get a long Flosstube in next week because I'm working every day apart from Saturday, and on Saturday I will be driving home after having taken Maddie back to university. We go down on the Friday and we drive back on the Saturday, and other than that I'm working because I need to fill my car at least twice with fuel, which equals 1 day's pay. So I'm doing an extra day at work so that I can afford the fuel, because it's extra, if you see what I mean. Right guys, have a brilliant week, or however long it turns out to be. I'll be back soon to see you. Thank you so much for watching me and sticking by me, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye for now.